broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, yes. Oh, we get to see it.
Dun. What up, guys?
Favorite
Welcome to
intro
Gotham.
by far.
AFTERBUZZ TV after show. Here's where I smack Monse. Boom!
That's
No, please don't.
No, that's not
That
gonna
would
happen. No, cool. Welcome to the show, guys. Everyone, here we are doing Scarecrow, episode number 15. I'm your host, Ryan Hooks. Guys, don't forget to check me out on the internet at RyanHooks92. Don't forget to check us out on the iTunes, on the SoundCloud, on the YouTube, on the internet, essentially. To my left, Monse Bolanos.
Hi! You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos.
Noise.
Joyce Joy.
You guys can also find me on Twitter at JAJouri. That's JAJOURI.
And you guys can find me at Steve Kaufman. That's KAUFMANN. And I'm tweeting right now with the hashtag ABTVGotham.
I'm
Tweet
gonna see if
at
this is
That's
true.
Steve Kaufman right there at the very
Tweet
end,
at
everyone.
us.
Tweet at us, hashtag ABTVGotham. So speaking of our internet and how it works in the world that we live in today, I would like to go ahead and give a couple of shout outs to some of our people on the World Wide Web. Shout out to our good friend Glenn Frost and Howard Lockwood. Thanks, guys, for looking out. Also, I actually was looking at some of the jokes that were on there. So Rab Gabriel's talking about Nigma, and he thought we didn't mention enough about how funny he was last week. So we're going to make sure we talk about it this week, because I think Nigma was hilarious. And
He was hilarious.
He's like the comic relief
I think
for sure.
he told my favorite riddle of his by far today.
About what do rich people
The answer is
need?
nothing.
Oh, yes.
Rich people need, poor people have, and if you eat it, you die.
And you eat it, you die.
Which the answer is nothing.
Midnight Cocky, thanks for
Nada.
tuning in. And also Baron of Hell. I would gladly agree with you that the fish fight would have been awesome because it is a cartoon-based show. We could have
Yes.
seen a cool, for real fight. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Nah, we totally skipped over that.
Completely. I was so disappointed.
We may still get it. They may
Don't
when
tell us
we
why.
explain how she got into
True.
prison. We're just gonna call it a prison.
I mean, hell.
Hell, Lost. They all went. It's
There's
all.
so many different names for that place.
Fish's new tank.
I don't. Fish's new tank.
Oh,
I like that one.
All right,
that's
you know what?
2 minutes in, you got to put money in the pun jar.
Ting. I actually was going to use that as our second topic. Let's go ahead and talk about Fish's new tank today.
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Because
I
Fish
love.
wakes up here partway through that beginning of the episode in a dungeonish area. There's a lot of people there as well, apparently. That's where they store all the people that are
That have-
unneeded.
that have-
But it
wrong?
seemed spacious. Like they weren't on top of each other.
Yeah, like they had places to walk
was a
around. Like you can
spacious
go down the
dungeon.
left.
Were
and
there
there's,
bathrooms, maybe?
Maybe.
No,
I didn't see
I
any.
think they were just corners.
His and hers?
Could they be under this? Could they be in the sewage system in Gotham?
Possibly. Mm-hmm. For future setup for
I mean,
Bane.
I don't know. That'd be
Or I mean, she was
a
on
nice
a boat.
intro
She
to
could
Solomon
literally.
Grundy.
She got attacked on a boat. She could literally be anywhere.
It's true. It was fish on a boat.
Definitely.
she-
And
She's
now
in a
she's
tank.
fishing a tank.
She was
Fish in
on
a
a boat
tank.
like a boss.
Dude, we just have $1 in the jar already. We've only been started for 3 minutes. All right, so
yeah, never mind.
no, you're good. I've been saying this off and on. I liked actually this week again. Fish is like growing on me slowly. It's took 15 episodes to get there because I didn't like her at first and I didn't like her for a long time. But some of the things they're doing with her, I am liking. I'm enjoying this little subplot with her in the dungeon. You know, I liked that she immediately sought out the biggest man in the yard, so
She's
to
like, I'm
speak.
gonna take him down.
So to speak.
I will say I like her too. I've pretty much always liked her character, but in this particular episode, I was like, I feel like she didn't do enough research and asking enough questions to find out more about the place and the people there. And like, I understand she wants to be on top as soon as possible, so she's gonna kill the guy as quickly as possible, but I still feel like she should get a feel for the place.
Like it was
a little
too
bit
soon?
more. It was too soon.
I feel like a
and
day.
also, we didn't know much about the place, which was making me anxious. So I was like, where is she? What is she gonna do? Like, who are these people? Why are they here? And I think it was more like I wanted to know, so I wanted her to find out for me.
Right, and we need her to do that research so that we can learn with her as she learns.
Yeah. And she's met with a surprise at the end of the episode, and it's like, well, figure it out.
We don't know why. Yeah,
Yeah,
she would
we
ask
were-
more questions.
Yeah, we were left with a lot of unanswered questions
Yeah.
from just that whole Fish's new tank. I
Yeah.
agree. I walked out of there. I was like, I don't even know what this place
Well,
is.
it seems to me she knows. Because, like I said, we don't know how we don't know from the boat to when she wound up in this. We're gonna call it lost, just because that's the funniest way to the dungeon.
The dungeon.
She doesn't we don't know how she got there, but she seems to have the information.
But she did know also who was attacking her that we didn't know.
Yeah.
So that helped maybe piece together where she ended
That
up
she'd
or
know
why.
That's true.
She's at this person's dungeon, which is in this region. We don't know that. We assume Fish knows that.
But then she wouldn't have asked Kelly what that place was, right?
Yeah, because she asked Kelly, and Kelly's like, prison, hell, depends who you ask.
Well, I think her question was more, is this a nightmare? Because am I not here? Could I not be here? I don't know. I think that was just her dealing with it. I feel like she knows. I feel like she knows where she is a little more.
I think for once she's going to have to work a little harder to figure things out.
I feel like I would like to see more from Mace as well. Like how,
really?
I mean, why he was in power. You know, he had the knife, but that's...
I was like, he's dead, Ryan.
Yeah.
the guy who rapped on that track with Puff Daddy?
$E.
Yeah.
I wrote down...
He's a preacher now.
I wrote down a pun for us. Mace has the only blade in the place.
Man.
Oh, isn't it?
Yes!
Somebody thought we were funny.
Yay, thank you.
All those
Drops
people.
mic.
No.
Too soon.
Too expensive.
Too soon. You can't drop the mic yet. We have more to talk about. So basically, yeah. So she is now in power and is now going to set up a new structure in this place that she is in. And we get a little surprise at the end when the girl who was at the beginning was taken away has been brought back with no eyes.
Yeah, which I think we're going to learn more about in the next episode, which is called The Blind Fortune Teller.
Ooh.
So that person is the blind fortune teller?
We'll learn more. I mean, I'm sure the fortune teller will apply to different people because we're going to be at a circus next episode, right? So
we're going to have multiple blind fortune tellers.
Yeah, she creeped me out. I was like, this is not... I mean, I expect Gotham to be creepy at some points, but I was like, ooh, a little taken aback.
And I feel like so was Fish.
Yeah, exactly.
She was totally taken aback.
She was met with that surprise. Like, what am I dealing with here?
What I enjoyed was it seemed not incredibly easy for Fish, but within
a day or so,
she took over the entire dungeon. So the guards have to throw something in there to completely just throw. Like, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah, like she's got to militarize this entire dungeon and get whatever information she can from the woman whose eyes are gone, but we're somehow cauterized that she's still very much alive.
She's probably some sort of clairvoyant that, what's her name? That Fish will definitely get lots of information out of and figure her way out.
It's gonna be her new Liza. Like somebody
her new project.
Yeah, her new project.
I was thinking the same thing.
And not leading like too much into predictions, but I feel like she's gonna get that whole group of prisoners to like rise up and escape.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally.
Just to serve
and
her.
be her new army, her Fish army.
Fish army.
Her
Her
school.
school.
Her school of
Oh,
fishes.
God.
Thanks for being on the same page.
Welcome to the Puncast, everybody.
Oh!
You're all very welcome.
All right, let's move on because that's enough about Fish Mooney. All right, I want to talk about Lil Wayne's Little Adventure.
You mean Master B?
Master B, make him say, oh. All right, so he's going off on this hike that him and his father used to go off on every year as a traditional thing. He's going by himself. I was actually really surprised that Alfred didn't follow him sooner.
That's true. Yeah, we were. You guys were thinking that last week.
I did. I totally was like, he's gonna follow him.
Yeah, he's gonna be hanging out real close. Well, and he goes on this hike and he's carrying these rocks that him and his father would collect and take to a certain point and leave. We saw, initials on the rocks and that kind of stuff that they were leaving. He took one for his father as well, which I thought was really touching.
Yeah.
And then he got mad.
And then he got mad.
I'm actually really happy he got mad.
I am too.
Because I think this is the most rage we've seen. For a
Other
kid,
than smashing the snow globe.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, that was right around the same. Okay.
But that was a really short-lived rage. This was drawn
like,
out.
I'm in the woods by myself.
I'm going to cry.
I can finally kick all the rocks and cry.
And nobody is gonna,
And I don't have to worry about it. Although he should be comfortable to do that in front of Alfred, but that's part of the
the
rage from Batman.
I felt like he needed to go by himself.
Well, I actually thought that when he picked up the first rock before he threw it, that he was going to keep it.
Yeah.
Because it had his dad's initials on it.
I thought so,
and I thought he was going to take it back with him.
I think that was his intention. And then
he's like, forget this.
He improv'd and went with it.
Can you imagine?
Well, his entire outlook on figuring out who killed his parents has totally changed. He's no longer hopeful. Now he's just, it seems
angry.
like he's angry, he's vengeful, and it just manifested in that one moment.
Yeah, because he's back to square one.
Yeah.
So that was like a point of realization.
Yeah.
I'm back to square one.
And I think
nothing.
he expected that hike to be sort of maybe therapeutic and more of a thing like in memoriam of his dad, but it probably just ended up bringing back all these feelings that he suppressed for a while.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Well, then he falls down the hill.
yeah,
Of course.
Of course.
You have to fall down it.
That was actually a pretty legitimate fall.
That was.
I was impressed
a
with
good
that.
stunt double.
Yeah, whoever stunted that did a good job. Hit that first log, flipped over, rolled a few times. So he gets a sprained ankle down there. I actually thought, I was like, really? He fell on the hill and then it's going to start raining because it was like thundering a little bit in the show.
yeah, like how cliche.
Really? Like you're in the hole and it's going to rain? Like talk about hitting the bottom.
Oh.
All right. If I do it myself, it's funnier. All right, so he essentially makes a splint for himself and crawls out of the hole, but it is getting late and Alfred's getting worried. And Alfred's sitting at the top of the hill with a fire going. It's like, what took you so long? Stop off for a pie and a beer or what?
A pint and a pub or
A pint
something?
and a pie is what he said.
A pint and a pie, yes.
Alfred's got jokes.
He's
Alfred.
funny.
I love Alfred. He is definitely grown on me.
Absolutely.
He keeps things light, but he knows what's up with Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he's changed a lot from the beginning because he was very militant in the beginning.
Totally.
And he's becoming a little more compassionate towards Bruce and that kind of stuff. And that's,
Well, he's learning that that's necessary.
yeah, and it's like he's lightheartedly compassionate. So
Yeah.
it's like fun and funny and helps us relieve a little bit of the tension. Master Bruce has a Bruin in him.
Yeah.
Also, at Beta Artemis, Alfred gives the best parenting lesson in Batman movie style reaction of why do we fall? Because in the
Yep, why do we
Christopher
fall so
Nolan,
we can pick
hey.
ourselves
in the
up
Christopher
again.
Nolan,
true.
like why do we fall? That's what I was thinking. The whole him on the hill, without having to say it,
ourselves back up.
so we can pick ourselves back up, Mr. Wayne.
Well, his dad says it to him in the
Yeah.
movie, so it is a nice little lesson, little homage, if you will.
True that.
True dat.
True dat. All right, let's. That was pretty short lived. He's better. They watch the sunrise.
I love how Bruce was like, because Alfred was like, "Do you want me to stay with you?" And Bruce was like, "If you could handle it." And
Yeah.
He's like, "What do you mean?"
He's like, I've slept in
He's like
less
special forces.
cushy
Like,
places than this.
yeah.
He's slept in the desert on somebody else's back.
Yeah, totally.
It's like you have a tent, sir.
And
Yeah.
Bruce is realizing he needs Alfred more than he wants to believe.
Yes.
So it's nice that Alfred's like always being persistent, and Bruce is
Keeps
going to
trying
finally take
to
it. Yeah.
let him in.
Yeah.
And they watch the sunrise together, which was nice and cute. And, oh, that's a little moment.
Who
must have
else
been
to
in
watch
a-
it with than your new father figure?
I mean, sure.
In
why not?
immense pain.
Yeah.
Minus the almost broken leg that you just cracked on the way down the hill. All right, so let's keep moving right along because Penguin's back in the game after escaping last week from Maroni and the men. He's got the nightclub back. He's talking to Falcone at the beginning of the episode where they're meeting, and I like that Falcone's just like, whatever, Penguin, like just not even listening to him talk the story about what happened with Maroni and how he should be afraid. And he's like, listen, we need money. You make us some money, and then we'll talk about keeping you alive.
He had a really good point. Like, he's inadvertently saving Penguin's life until later we find out. But like he made a good point. It's like, we need this money. We need to be in control because that's what it's all about between those two families. Like, they just need to be in that control. And I think,
More money, more problems.
well, not for Penguin, as promised by Falcone, which, is false.
False.
It's like half false.
Unless there's some like twist involved later
Yeah.
on. So
Well, I could see that happening. So he reopens the new former Fish Mooney's club is now Oswald's. Like
yeah,
I'd go.
I like the
That
sound
place
of
looks cool.
Oswald.
I like that band.
The penguin umbrella in the back as well.
No,
Yeah.
but no sign. It was just a nondescript entrance with a neon umbrella.
yeah.
I would totally go to this place.
Yeah, sure you would. You'd be the only person there. Apparently.
There were like 5 people.
Apparently everybody goes.
Yeah.
And throughout this whole part of the episode as well, then we get this dialogue between Maroni and Falcone talking about keeping Penguin alive and what they can do for each other. Because Falcone does then say he's going to go public with their friendship/partnership. And by keeping him together and alive, he can earn him money.
Yeah.
And then they go and they have cigars. And there's also a judge that they have arrested.
Judge Sanborn.
Not arrested.
But,
Kidnapped?
No,
Kidnapped.
Turnbull.
kidnapped is
Turnbull.
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 Chief Judge
Kidnapped.
Turnbull
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
who,
Okay.
is who the judge is.
There it is.
And he had actually put away several of Maroni's men, but now they have some dirt on him. He was having a gay affair secretly, so they jugged him, brought him in, and now they're torturing him, and he's on their side, so to speak.
And Maroni is pleased.
Yes, Maroni is very pleased. That's a great offering, I think, in
Yeah.
the aspect of what he can do for him. Instead of giving him a bunch of money, here, why don't you have this judge who's going to keep your people off? And that's only goes into further the corruption that we have and are slowly getting more about.
Totally.
Because we haven't seen a lot of corruption lately.
No.
We
no,
will.
not
It's
between
Gotham.
them anyway.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
for sure.
They actually like to keep their hands clean, like by and large. Like, and the stuff they do deal with, it's like literally we have a judge. We have like a chief judge in the entire city.
You know, if you think about last week too, Murnau actually wasn't the one that was going to kill Penguin. He had somebody else running the crusher, even though he was standing there watching.
Yeah. Right.
So his hands were clean of that action.
I know. All they have to do is say the word. And
somebody
things
will
get
do it.
done.
Yep.
Say the word, things get done. Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, I like the club, and I think that's going to be a fun like anecdote for them. And I like that he went to go, speaking of Nigma, since we got to talk about him. I said I'd talk about him, here we are. He goes to invite Jim Gordon. He wants to hand deliver this invitation himself instead of all the other ones that were sent out by Gabe. And he takes it to see Gordon, but Gordon isn't there. And then Nigma kind of starts awkwardly following him, and there's this weird tension where they're walking side by side.
That was such a great scene.
Yeah.
What a great moment.
They're eventually going to team up. That's what they're foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Next season, I guess.
But their encounter was perfect for how it would be.
Can I help you with something?
I know.
So
If I was Edward, I would have been like, I work here, okay?
I'm actually going to talk to this guy over here. You were just in line in front of me, sir. I'm just waiting my turn.
I know.
And Nigma was super excited that we have Dr. Tompkins now as the new ME as well.
Yeah.
She smells nice.
She does smell nice. Watch out, Gordon. You have something to contend with.
Some competition.
I like her as the
You better
new
get your
Emmy.
riddles going, Gordon.
I like that Nigma likes her too. I think they'll have a good partnership, but I don't know. She's nice enough. I think she'll trust him more than Gordon would trust him later on if he chooses like not to, or if he decides he can't be trusted.
Well, I think
him and Tompkins will be a good team.
it brings Nigma even more into the storyline as they've been progressively building him in each and every week. Now that he's involved with medical examining of bodies that are going to happen there's going to be a body every week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. So that means he's going to be there looking at the body and talking about it, helping theorize about what's going on.
Yeah. That's what we said last week.
Yeah, I know. I'm just following up on that and furthering my point that this is what's going to go down. And I'm excited about it because Nigma's got jokes,
Hell yeah.
just like we do.
Literally.
Literally jokes.
Got them.
We have
Alright.
we have puns.
They were
There's a
fantastic.
Oh yeah,
difference.
we have poor comic writing. He has good comic writing because jokes are the lowest form of comedy. Puns, that is. All right,
Yes.
Penguin's umbrella is where it is, and let's move right along. So the major plot this week then is all about Dr. Crane. It's kind of continued on from last week. He's still out stealing bodies and stealing adrenal glands, and Bullock and Gordon are trying to figure out what they can do to solve this mystery.
Ooh.
The mystery is afoot. And then we also see Dr. Crane actually giving himself the serum at the beginning after he's figured out like that it's the right setup and all that.
Adrenal hormone, I think, is the science, because they said it was a compound they can't explain or don't know yet. So I guess with the adrenal glands, he's making a custom hormone that he's then injecting himself with.
Because it's being secreted at the height of fear.
Yeah.
And then it's allowing himself to reduce the fear in his body.
Because he feels, and we learn, he feels that fear is an evolutionary flaw, which is the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lack of fear was an evolutionary flaw. That's why people who do things that that's why we're afraid of things that could kill us, so they don't kill us.
It's a
So we
survival
stop.
mechanism.
Also, if you wanted to be without fear, if you had damage to your amygdala, that's another way. Aside from adrenal glands, he could have just went in and changed his
Drill a hole in his
amygdala.
amygdala and be good to go.
Just lobotomized his amygdala.
That sounds
Seems
a little more complicated.
Especially for a self-procedure.
I mean, he's a doctor.
If you know where those adrenal glands are,
Yeah.
you can just pluck them right out. But you got to go through like the brain and all that complicated.
And it's probably a longer process for him. Yeah.
Let's talk about the science of the amygdala surgery here in
Because
Gotham.
we know this. We're very intelligent.
I've actually done it once.
See?
Not only are we Batman experts, we're also doctors.
Yes.
I'm a doctor, not a pool man. All right. So anyway, they are. Monse thinks I'm funny. That's all that matters.
I thought it was funny that nobody laughed.
Thanks for laughing after the fact. The sigh. All right. So back at the
See, you got some laughs.
drops mic.
All those people.
the
all those people
The whole
are-
crowd of people that are sitting over here watching our show live.
Wonderful audience.
And our
we
studio
have
audience.
here.
You guys are just ruining it for me. You're just all right. So he's perfecting this form, but we also find then that Gordon and Bullock go to see. They find out that he was a teacher because the first victim of the episode was also a teacher, and that's how they're kind of figuring out where all this stuff's coming from. That he had written a paper and given it to the principal to proofread about this whole process and what he was trying to do.
And he gave it to her really recently too. Well, like 6 months ago, she said, right?
Like less than that, like
Yeah.
And he Yeah, and was he still working there? Is he still working?
In the episode, he wasn't anymore. He had been missing for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, she said that he wasn't going to be back or something, and then never came back or something like that for 3 weeks.
Well, the reason I bring the paper up is I think it would be relevant in aspect of them talking about the serum and like how it was made and how they couldn't figure it out. Like, I'm sure if you wrote a paper about this, you would probably write about how you would make it as well in the paper.
I would assume so.
That there would be some kind of formula compound in there that would be, here's my work and here's why it's going to work.
It's a pretty big paper.
Yeah, so I feel like
they're getting there.
I feel like that would be in there, and I think that should be relevant to the doctors. I mean, Nigma probably already figured it out.
Yeah,
probably.
He's smarter than everyone else anyway. All right, anyway, so he's also testing the formula on his son, Johnny Crane.
He claims he loves so much, yet ignores every plea for his son to stop working on this and doing this. Like, I get like his son will probably want to try it out just to appease his father, but at the end when he was like, "Stop, please,"
overdosing him with like
you don't love your
ounces.
son. You're being so selfish.
Yeah, it's like I think that has to do with that he loves or can't get over his wife.
Of course,
like it's like I love my son, but my wife I can't get over the fact.
Which he told people that she died in a car accident.
Yeah,
but we find out in reality like she died because they're in a fire.
Yeah. When he was injecting himself and he had that seeing his wife at the stairs with a fire, instantly I was like, he's afraid of fire. That's it. He's afraid of fire. I was like,
just fire.
He's afraid of his wife burning in a fire.
Yeah.
I was
like that memory just haunts him.
Yeah. And then that's why I was like, the car accident. I was like, no, there's no way. It did not make sense.
And it didn't make sense to me. And I know I said this while we were watching it. It's like people he knew, he told that she died in a car accident.
Yeah.
But if you get the newspaper on Sunday morning after her death and it says a woman by this name died in a house fire, like,
wouldn't
people he knew know and figure that out?
But in a social, would you call him out on that if you did? Like,
well, no,
like, that would just be weird. I know.
I'm not saying we would call him out, but I'm saying if the professor or the teacher that they spoke to knew, wouldn't she be like, "Oh, she died. He told us she died in a car accident, but we found out really that she died in a house fire."
Well, how long had the fire been? Is what we don't know.
6-7 years.
So maybe 6-7 years ago there was a fire. 3 years he joins the school, and now it's my wife was killed in a car crash because they just don't want to talk about it.
I assume that the people who were saying the fire didn't work with him at the time, or the people who were saying a car accident didn't work with him at the time.
Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah. I'm just saying that could. I mean, people.
I don't know. I was just thinking.
Do you research that if someone tells you that their significant other was killed? Like, do you go and look into finding out why, or do you say, "I'm sorry,
no"? My hypothesis is that they read after he told them that she died in a car accident.
Yeah.
Not that like he told them and then they researched it.
Well,
anyway,
I get it, Joyce. I get
Joyce,
you.
we're on the same page, but we are also agreeing to disagree because I think you're a little bit crazy.
Oh, thank you. Maybe I'll become the next Gotham villain.
So I did not like in this week's episode, and they've done it so many times. The obvious blatantness of the scarecrow figure that's out in their yard. Even the first time he went out there when he was like trying to get away from the mid style treatment, and he's out there. And later he goes back and gives him the serum in front of the scarecrow, and that's what kind of strikes his fear. Yeah. Because he's stuck in that state of fear all the time.
These are the things that people who watch the show hate to see. And I wonder why, I know the show's already been filmed, a long time ago, but I wonder why they keep putting that stuff in there.
Well, it's because Gotham doesn't care about the mythos of the original Batman story.
That's true.
Bazinga.
I mean, I get it. Like, I understand that people that are watching the show like us don't always know everything about the Gotham Batman world, so they're doing it to make sure that we get it.
Yeah, but it was like blatantly obvious on this episode.
But the umbrella, there was an episode, Penguin's umbrella, like clearly early on, and that's why I used that as a joke earlier. Clearly he's the Penguin, and they're saying, "Oh, you're the Penguin," or the same with the Riddler, where he's got the question mark on his flash Enigma. Yeah. Like, clearly that's.
But I think that was more subtle than today's episode. Like, you saw the Scarecrow 1,000 times with him.
They kept coming out.
And they weren't around any crops, right?
Yeah, it was just like it was. I don't think it was
out of place.
What am I trying to say? It wasn't tastefully done.
Was it subtle?
It wasn't subtle, like the cup.
The cup was subtle because it's just.
I'm getting mad.
He likes riddles.
Yeah.
Well, simmer down over the Costa Rica.
No empeces, okay? Pero for real.
Okay, pero for real.
Pero for real.
Keep the Latin fire inside.
Wow.
It's about to get Sofia Vergara in here. Whoa.
Little bit.
Yeah, I agree though. It was very not subtle. Like the cup was a little bit more subtle, and they're doing that. So I get it. And even this week, and I know we're going to see it probably next week, where they're like, let's go to the circus. Like, clearly, we're going to meet the Graysons, who are later going to follow Robin, you know. And
Yeah.
Well, there's a photo of Gordon and Tompkins talking to someone at the circus, standing in front of a trailer, and the trailer says Grayson's on it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
because they're the
it's
circus
there.
act.
Yeah, yeah.
But
it's
it
there
should
in the
be,
background.
But it's going to be the Flying Graysons.
Yeah.
But not Dick Grayson.
Because he's not born yet.
no, he's.
Or if he's maybe, you know what they'll do? They'll probably show a baby.
But even if he was a...
I still think he'd be.
Or she'll be pregnant.
I still think he's that much younger than Bruce. Like he's not born yet.
Because Bruce is in his Batman's in his 30s or 40s, and Dick Grayson's like a child,
Yeah.
Late teens, 18.
late teens. So
maybe this is going to be their last performance because she's pregnant.
but even then
He's like 9, 12, whatever.
but then he would need to be 20 years younger than Batman. We shouldn't see a baby. Although it would be cool if we saw a baby. And
That
it was
wasn't.
just that was not Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a
They'd
girl.
probably do that. They'll
Yeah.
probably do that.
Just to mess with
Because
everybody
he did
in
have
the mythos.
siblings.
Just to mess with everyone. Like us, we like to do that too.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just keep things rolling. So, and also we're seeing the budding office romance that's now going on at the
yes.
GCPD
Oh, that's
because
so
Dr. Tompkins
funny.
is there. I like it. I like that it's showing the side of Gordon that he wants to stop it, but he doesn't want to stop it, and he's internally fighting with himself about how he hates that she kisses him, but then he wants her to kiss him.
Yeah.
And, this is cute.
It is. And it shows a different side to Ben McKenzie, which is nice.
I think he'd be really happy if she didn't work there.
I think so too. Part of me is wondering though, is he afraid? Not afraid, but does he not want her to work there because is he perhaps thinking about Barbara? She's going to come back one day, and the first place she's going to go is GCPD, and probably see Tompkins there. And
I
feel like
think
Barbara's on his mind still.
I don't think that,
No?
actually. I think he just doesn't want to work with her there because of all the crap that could possibly go down.
And they've been trying to separate their work talk at their dates
Right.
and stuff. So they're trying to separate their personal and professional lives, and now he has no choice.
Yeah.
No,
And I
they
think
were.
That's true.
At very first when she told him, he was like, "Oh my god, that's great." And then the minute he speaks to Bullock, it's he's like, "Oh, maybe you're right."
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the experts on dating, Monse Bolanos, Joyce
Yes.
Joy.
Tweet
Talk it
us.
out.
Ask us
Please.
what you need. If you need any advice, just tweet us. We'll give it to you.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
That is absolutely
That's
right.
actually a different show after this show.
Yeah.
Which is dating advice.
Late night
Yeah.
dating advice
I
with Monse and Joyce.
call in a lot.
Yeah.
I have so many
True.
questions.
It's
And
true.
you-
We've solved many a problem of
Really?
Steve's.
Yeah.
Well, I think, though, going back to what you were saying and fighting, getting off this tangent of the tangents, I actually think that it goes back to a little farther with Gordon, because a couple weeks ago, when he was trying to arrest Flass, and there was a whole scene about him just having to win. This is something that's going to hinder his ability to win, because lately it seems like he's been doing whatever it takes to get the job done, and now he almost can't. It's there's this hindrance on him that is going to affect his ability to do things.
Yes.
Women always ruin everything for everyone.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
that is
somebody's
a
drinking
bold
their
statement.
haterade today.
Sleeping on the couch.
Got a whole glass full of it right here.
Jeez.
I seen him pour it.
I seen him pour it.
It's in the refrigerator right outside.
Yeah, you know what?
So much haterade.
Aside from, let's not use the word women ruin everything. How about love makes everything complicated?
It does.
So I agree with that. I think he doesn't, because he knows it's gonna, make him
No, just women.
handle things differently.
Because I think she's taking it a little personally that he doesn't want to be affectionate in the workplace, and it's going to be one of those passive aggressive, I'm fine, but I'm not fine, but I'm going to kiss you anyway.
I'm going to tell you
Yeah.
I'm fine.
type
She's-
of thing.
Yeah, when
that
a girl-
women do.
But she's not fine, but she needs to get over it because that's really unprofessional.
Monse
Even-
Joyce Love 101. When a girl says she's fine, she's not.
True that.
Moving on. Go ahead.
Wait. So when you say it's fine,
We are not.
It's
and
not.
things are
Fine
not.
is not a fine
you
word.
are not. Thank you.
Yes.
Got it.
isn't
Nothing
it
is fine.
effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional? Got it. Check. FINE. Ooh.
Jonathan, you are killing it in there.
And I'm gonna go back to my statement about just saying women.
Wow.
I have a whole defense for that. That's gonna get a whole can of
Anyway,
things opened up.
before we get into an argument, let's continue.
No, I actually
Right?
like the
we
idea
could
of
save
getting
this argument for the YouTube comments.
Like if I had
Yeah.
a pen, I would be stuck.
it. You want to borrow mine? Let me just open it for you,
Oh, you're so sweet.
because you can't do it yourself because you're a woman.
Wow.
Oh snap! All right, so back to the story. Jot it down.
Every fiber in my body.
Right?
Every fiber in your body is fighting against me to say something.
I'm gonna flick this paper.
All right. Well, anyway, so we find out then that Crane is totally ruined now because of the serum, because he was overdosed. And Dr. Crane, the father, is shot and dead because he has no fear of Gordon's guns.
Which exactly proves your point.
Yeah.
The adaptation mechanisms of fear.
Yeah.
Which
are to save
totally
life.
debunked his theory.
Yeah, fear is a necessary evolutionary thing, because if he was afraid of people shooting at him, he wouldn't get shot at.
Yeah.
Or
So
he'd
he
hide
hit
behind a
bullets, though,
thing.
right?
He took a couple bullets.
Yeah, he shot at them like unrelentingly because he wasn't afraid.
No, I'm sorry. Did Bullock get hit?
No.
Well,
No,
I
no,
thought there was
no.
like a weird moment, but I was
No,
kind
No,
of
he
thinking
just
that-
shot at them, but there were two of them and one of him.
I'm sure
And-
we would have seen Bullock suffering
Okay.
if he were shot.
Okay. I felt like there was like something that I heard but didn't see.
No.
Got it. But not like. Yeah, his fear of running at people with guns would have served him very well. And he didn't
mean-
have it. He.
All we know or need to know is now Jonathan Crane has this fear instilled in him of scarecrows and will later escape from Arkham.
Yeah.
Is he in Arkham?
I mean, I'm sure he'll eventually get there.
But like he'd have to get what I don't understand is he'd have to like if we're following the mythos, he would have to get over the fear to at least not like be debilitated, like strapped to a hospital bed.
Right.
Then he'd become a doctor. I think, or become a doctor, do something wrong, go to Arkham, and then get out of Arkham. Like that would pretty much be his story.
And he's still a minor, so I feel
Yeah,
like
like-
they're going to let him off a little easier, or like find
Well,
a
he
way for him
didn't-
to get taken care of.
Yeah, he didn't actually
do
do
anything.
anything.
No, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, he's not in trouble right now.
But until he starts hurting himself and other people, I think he's gonna stay how he is.
But it has to calm
By
down
himself.
eventually somehow.
yeah.
Maybe
So that-
another
that
doctor
he
helps
can-
him so that he can actually be a regular person and harness this ability of not having any fear, but then harness the ability of having other people just be absolutely petrified of the thing they fear the most.
If you're avid fans of the comic books and you know about the Scarecrow's development from childhood fear to Scarecrow as an adult, let us know on our YouTube channel.
Enlighten us.
You can leave us
Please.
comments on our iTunes. Get us up on the SoundCloud. That's what we like when people do, and they leave us fun comments so we can go in and interact with you guys and learn more about Batman
Teach
Yeah.
us.
and Gotham
Teach us
And
how to
SoundCloud.
know.
and SoundCloud. I'm just saying, that's what I like to do.
yes,
I
I,
like-
also like that it becomes a big conversation.
The
Because-
great debate.
And I don't put, and I with the research for the show don't put too much into it because I know this show doesn't like to. The show likes
Follow.
to.
We'll
The
Doesn't
show likes to.
abide by anything.
It likes to play a
really.
little fast and loose with
Yeah.
all of the source material,
it does its own
and I
thing.
like that.
I agree.
I am 100% behind you guys. All right, so I think that we have done a sufficient job.
We
learning.
covered it all.
I think so. I feel like it was very compartmentalized this week. There was very like this
Yes.
story, this story, this story, and this story, and that's it. So I want to talk about what's gonna be coming down the pipe here for Batman, because Joyce, I know that you have something brewing on the back of your mind. And every fiber of your being that you've been withholding for the last 15 minutes, as I have been hyping you up. Now is your chance.
I just want to say, for everyone who denied the idea that they're going to bring the freaking Joker to Gotham this season, you're wrong, okay? Because
The joke is out.
The joke is out. Next episode is not going to be a joke, so they clearly said. And we see Cameron Monaghan play as what we're going to assume is the Joker. And with all these puns and the way the show does things, it's clear that they're going to scratch the surface, which is exactly what the executive producer of the show, Bruno Heller, said. He said in an interview that they're going to scratch the surface of introducing the Joker. But the only thing is, his name is Jerome. Cameron Monaghan's character's name is Jerome. And because Joker's origin story in the comic books is so vague, like who knows where they're going to go with it. So it might be something completely different from the Killing Joke or, whatever else we've read and seen in the comics. So there you go. Joker is appearing. Everyone be quiet.
Also,
Do you feel better? First off,
Feel a little better.
Lil Wayne gets to get in that boardroom.
Yes.
I've been waiting.
finally.
yes.
It's his boardroom.
I
Yes.
tweeted about it this week that they've been listening to what I've been saying for the last 10 weeks. Finally,
Yeah.
Lil Wayne in the boardroom.
I was
Like
super
a
stoked
boss,
about
too. Like,
yeah,
in there,
he's at the front of the table. It's his boardroom.
all like, listen, I want to talk about nuclear weapons. I want to talk about this. Like, let's
Yeah.
address these things.
You go, Lil Wayne. It's about
Let's-
time.
It's about time.
What is the R&D department doing about the gummy bear shortage? We need to work on this.
The gummy bear shortage. Also, can I get it in black?
Yes. He wants
Yes,
black
Mr.
gummy.
Wayne, it comes in black.
He wants black gummy bears.
Guys, I think if Bruce Wayne were here, he would be insulted.
Yes.
Good thing Bruce Wayne is not here.
Yes.
And also, then we're going to see a little bit of Fish rising up to power in the cell.
We saw at the very end, Fish was in the club again.
Oh yeah.
Fish was up in the club.
Up in the club.
In the club.
It's too easy. Yeah, it's too easy. All right, I think we need to do some predictions because we now know what's coming down the pipe, literally.
There's sewage pipes that she's
There's
in.
my flashy lights. There's my music.
Predictions. Oh yeah.
The flashy lights are my favorite part. It's like not dark in here, but they're like strobing anyway. Like it'd be cool if they brought the house lights down and the strobe lights up, and get the beats per minute up.
I think that would be a little much for some people. Some people don't take well to strobe lights.
You know what? I like strobe lights. Joyce, since you're already all fired up, why don't you tell me what
Okay, again, I'll reiterate the Joker.
No.
So you think the Joker's coming next
The
week?
Joker.
I don't think
I don't know where you're getting information.
Let me make it clear. Obviously, his storyline is not going to develop during the course of the rest of the season. But like I said, they're going to scratch the surface. They're bringing him, and I think Cameron Monaghan's going to be a fantastic addition to Gotham. I think he's such a great actor. I'm so excited. And I said this earlier, but the next episode's called The Blind Fortune Teller, who I think they're going to refer to the woman who we saw at the end with no eyes, the one that, Fish Mooney noticed. And I think we're also, on that note, going to see maybe a real fortune teller in the circus that Gordon and Tompkins are at on their date. And we'll be introduced to the Graysons, maybe.
I heard the Graysons were coming.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's happening.
Just not Richard Grayson. Just not the baby. We'll see another baby.
No little dick next week.
That's my tiny prediction. Obviously, we're going to get to see the Joker.
Hey, Steve, why don't you go next?
That seemed to be the flow of where we were headed. I think Bruce is going to take over. Lil Wayne's going to take over his company. Like
so
he's
soon?
sitting so soon. He's just going to. You guys are doing a terrible job. Alfred's going to be my de facto adult, but I'm going to start running my namesake because I'm 11, and that's or is he.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's
One of those.
under
12.
13.
Yeah.
Under 13. Hey, I'm just going to do it. Fish is obviously going to get out of Lost. That episode of Lost she's in. And I think...
So the plane crashes over and they're escaping?
They're escaping. There's a smoke monster.
No engine leave off, though?
I haven't seen Lost.
Okay.
I don't actually...
He's like a villain from like way later down the road.
Okay, I just didn't watch Lost.
I didn't either. I just know he was in it.
Yeah, so I think she's gonna have a war with Penguin, and she's gonna face more opposition than she knows what to do with, because now that Falcone and Maroni are together, and I think
Penguin's publicly protected.
Yeah, so she's gonna face a real hard time there. Also, I think Gordon's gonna break up with the Doctor. Probably not next week, but by the end of the season.
I think it's going to happen too.
Mm-hmm.
When's
I do.
Barbara
You wanna
coming?
take all the predictions,
When's Barbara
Steven?
coming back?
3 weeks.
Right before they break up.
Pretty much.
I think actually the same time it's gonna like overlap. Like she's gonna come back and then they're gonna break up. And
Yeah, but he's not gonna break up with her because of Barbara. I don't think that's why.
No, I think it's gonna be
we,
weird. At
we
work.
do need more Barbara because obviously Barbara is involved in the money of Gotham, which is Lil Wayne in that boardroom, which is Falcone and Maroni. It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's associated, but we don't see where she falls. But yeah, that's what I think.
Monse Bolanos.
Oh, well, Steven said all the predictions.
Well, now that all the
Sorry,
good predictions
guys.
are gone, why don't you give us some of the lower end predictions here?
Right. I have a small prediction and a big prediction.
Like a small frame.
The small prediction is about Lil Wayne and his board. I don't think he's just gonna take over. I don't, but I think he's gonna start to be more involved, and then he's gonna start to find out a little bit more of the truth and the corruption behind everything. But I don't think he's just instantly gonna take over. I think he's just gonna say, I'm gonna be around. I want to be a part of this, and I want to have some say in it. And Alfred is gonna be right by his side.
Oh, yeah.
And as I was watching the episode, I was like, because I don't watch the episode with them, unfortunately, because I'm filming another episode of AfterBuzz. But when I was watching the episode, I was like, could Maroni and Falcone team up together and kill Fish?
Yes.
If Fish became a strong third power, they wouldn't want that. And we saw them today be friends. They obviously can.
They know what's more important than feuding.
Exactly. So I'm just wondering, like, later, maybe not at the end of the season, but Fish is not something that we're going to see the entire time Gotham is on television. Fish will be somebody that's killed off.
Or become the Joker.
Or become the...
You never know.
You never know, because I don't think we're going to see the Joker anyway, so...
Joker's not happening, first off.
It's not happening. But I thought that today. I was like, as I was watching the episode, I was like, they have a friendship. They know what's important, like you just said. And clearly they can come up with a compromise.
Yeah.
So if Fish becomes a big third power, like if she has this army of fish, the school of fish, they could totally be the one to take her out. Because they're like, obviously they're not going to want a third person.
Yeah.
So
Dividing that pie up a little more is always
keeping
turning out here.
Keeping it within the two families.
exactly. So
Absolutely.
that's my big prediction.
So I think
I
no
like it.
Joker.
Thanks.
I think no Robin.
You know what? Why don't you go join everybody else?
I think Penguin's going to die.
No Robin for
I think
sure.
Dr. Tompkins is also going to die.
Wow.
And I think that Batman's never going to happen. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, I was like, Penguin? Like, Penguin was the
Everyone
one.
is going to... No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
like Hamlet.
I agree that I don't think Bruce is going to take over the board quite yet. I think he's going to start learning about the company. I think he's going to get more of the dirt and the underground workings of the money and all that in Gotham. And I think that's going to help him with his cause. I agree that Fish is going to escape and also maybe try to make a move on Penguin. But I don't know if she's maybe learned anything from this, and it might take her 2 weeks to do it. Like, she's not just going to like run out and try to fight Penguin right away.
Yeah, no.
Not
Possibly.
yet.
I think it's probably going to take her an episode.
I hope we
to
find out
get
more about
of-
what happened to her. Like,
Yeah, I
why.
really want to
Yeah.
know
Maybe they'll do like a flashback.
what happened on that boat.
Yeah.
I'm on a boat. All right, guys.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. Thank you for tuning in here to AfterBuzz TV's Gotham After Show, episode 15, The Scarecrow. Give me some music.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Hey, Steve Kaufman, tell me where you can find out more about you.
I'm right here. You can ask me anything. No, you can find me at Steve
Well,
Kaufman.
Steve Kaufman, how do
That's
you feel about the
KAU.
ladies?
You can find me at Steve Kaufman, KAUFMANN. I also host a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz TV. If you follow me, I tweet about them.
Joyce Jordan?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JAJOURI, on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Walking Dead, and Shameless podcast here at AfterBuzz.
Monse Bolanos.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. I also do other shows here like Scorpion, but if you want to watch me on television, you can watch me Monday through Wednesday.
Latino
yeah.
TV.
Hosting Latino TV at 6 p.m.
Hey guys, and as always, you can find me at RyanHooks92 on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and also on the Black Sails AfterBuzz TV podcast. Make sure you guys follow us on the SoundCloud, hit us up on the YouTube and the iTunes. Hashtag ABTV Gotham.
Yeah.
Catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.